The Dream. Sam and Grace had always wanted a dog. When they first got married, they travelled a lot, so they thought it would not be fair to leave a puppy behind. Then they bought their first home. It was an apartment in Dublin, so it would not be fair to keep a dog when they had no garden. They would talk about getting a dog every so often. They would see people walking their dogs and think about what type of dog they would like to own. Sam liked big friendly dogs like retrievers and Labradors. Grace liked the smaller ones like Jack Russells and Terriers. However, they liked the mixed breeds the best. The years went by and they moved to a bigger house. They had 4 children and they both worked full-time. Their lives were very busy. Soon they forgot about the dream of having a dog. There just was no time for one. The children finished school and went to college. Sam and Grace worked hard to pay the college fees. They were so proud when the children all graduated from college. They got jobs in different parts of the country. However, Sam's health was not so good now. He had to take tablets for high blood pressure. Grace decided that they needed a holiday. They went to Tramore in Waterford for a week. Their youngest daughter, Rachel, was a teacher and was working there. They rented a holiday home and spent the week relaxing. Each day they took a walk down the beach. They met lots of locals walking their dogs. They smiled at each other and talked about their dream of owning a dog. As the week came to an end, Sam talked about how nice it was to be beside the sea. They were both near retirement. They discussed maybe moving out of Dublin and buying a house in Tramore. When they went back to Dublin and started to look at houses for sale in Tramore, Sam's health was still not good, so he decided to take early retirement from his job. Grace continued to work and knew she could get a job in Waterford when they moved. 2 months later, the perfect house came up for sale. They knew it was the one for them. They visited it with their daughter and they loved it. Their daughter Rachel was delighted. They were moving, as she had also bought a house in Tramore with her boyfriend. The house in Dublin was up for sale. They packed their things and got ready to leave. However, that week Sam passed away in his sleep. Grace was devastated. She was determined to go ahead with the move, as it was what Sam had wanted. She moved to the new house in Waterford. Her son Liam moved in with her for a few months to keep her company. Rachel visited every evening and they walked the beach together and talked about Sam. One beautiful sunny evening, Grace was getting ready for her evening walk. As she was tying her shoelaces, she heard a bark at the door. She opened the door and to her surprise, there stood her daughter with a beautiful little dog on a lead. "Meet Hope," said Rachel. Grace was confused. Rachel took a letter out of her pocket and Grace read it. It was from Sam. He had posted it to Rachel a couple of weeks before he had died. In it he told her that if anything was to happen him when the time was right, she was to buy a dog for Grace. Grace stood there with her eyes filled with tears. They were tears of sadness and happiness. The dog was beautiful. Rachel passed her the lead and they walked down the street. The dog looked up at Grace and they knew they would be good friends. She thought of Sam and said thank you for never forgetting their dream.